Today, we got a little stack of comics to review, mostly from the Ghost Machine Unnamed universe and some other stuff. Starting out with Redcoat, number 3. I don't know if I might have reviewed 4, and now I'm reviewing 3. I feel like I kind of like bounced ahead. Feel like the last storyline I talked about, I was a little confused because I felt like I was missing something, and this is what I was missing. Getting caught up on this storyline. But this has been a lot of fun. This whole world, the connection between this, Rook, Geiger, and who knows what's going to come in the future. But the year is, well, we're dealing with Geoff Johns, Brian Hitch are the creators of this, Andrew Curry, and Brad Anderson. Oh, that's for covers. Well, Brad Anderson also was the colorist. Rob Leigh for letterer. Brian Cunningham, editor in chief. But the year is 1892. Simon Peer and 13-year-old Albert Einstein are attacked by the same hooded cult that gave Simon his immortality in 1776. A wound caused by a mystical axe forces Simon to seek answers from his frenemy Benedict Arnold, who reveals the wound will kill him in 3 days, this time for good. So our red coat character's got himself a gut wound that's going to end up taking him out in 3 days if they can't figure out what's up and how to fix it. We get a nice little story about George Washington, finding out about the story about George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. Cherry tree or apple tree? No, it would have been a cherry tree. Just, I don't know. I got apple tree made more sense in my head all of a sudden. But yeah, we get to see Albert Einstein and our red coat character trying to figure out what's going on with him, why the wound isn't healing, why he's having these feelings of pain and everything from the axe, and Benedict is trying to help him figure it out also. We get lots of unique things that we get to find out from the historical facts of these immortal characters from history. Some other interesting items that they have stockpiled. And this has a beautiful, I just noticed, it's a beautiful wraparound cover. I know I did ones I just ordered from the most recent catalog are 3 covers that connect from the Rook, the Redcoat, and the Geiger World. All 3 covers connect. So I'm looking forward to seeing those together. Uh, but yeah, it's definitely interesting the way they're playing the lore, bringing this into the whole axe that chopped down the cherry tree, why it affects the immortals the way it does, why certain things out there are part of their immortal world and can change things throughout their historical events. But very well done. Very historically interesting how they're playing the storylines from the history that we know. Uh, Definitely some interesting characters along the way that they're coming across. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens with our red coat character. What is he gonna pass away in 3 days? Are they gonna find a way to cure this? What's gonna happen with it? It should be interesting. I feel like I reviewed issue 4, but I'm not positive. It just feels like I jumped ahead on the storyline for a bit. But usually these are coming out at the same time. That's why I think I did that. Because we got Rook number 3 and 4. So we definitely are. Should be on the 4th issue of Redcoat also. Because they're all coming out at the same time. So, not sure what happened with that. We'll see. You'll know if you watched what was going on along the way. Watched the other reviews. You might have seen that. I'm almost positive. I feel like I just did a Redcoat not long ago. Our Rook Exodus story is basically a struggling farmer from Earth. This is also done by Geoff Johns. And we got Jason Fabak, Brad Anderson, and Rob Lay working on this one. But a struggling farmer from Earth was given a second chance on the planet Exodus, a terraformed world where every aspect of nature is controlled by humanity, including the winged scavengers who plagued his crops. Now called Rook, the farmer became one of the wardens, those who wear helmets capable of commanding an animal species. But when the world's engine failed, the power of the wardens fell into the wrong hands. Those who could afford to fled, forcing those left behind to choose between trying to escape this war-torn world before its destruction or fighting to save it. Our Rook character having tons of problems with the crows. I don't know why he's so stubborn about it. It's the one that you're chosen for. It's the helmet you got. Take care of the crows. Work with the crows. Try and figure out the crows. The crows are constantly telling him to fly, fly away. I think they can somehow give him the ability to maybe fly. Maybe help him escape from certain tragic events along the way. We have our boar friend that got killed by the what do you call it? The bear creature. The one that's got the bear mask. I got Kodiak stuck in my head, and that's not it. Uh, uh, but anyways, it's like right on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, Mercer now stuck in my head. Come on, what do you call a bear? Uh, oh well, the guy that has the bear mask controls all the bears, which isn't the guy with the bear mask because there's also a guy that controls polar bears. There's different types of bear related masks out there. I'm sure there's one for Kodiaks, one for grizzlies. Who knows? I'm not really sure how far this animal world goes. It started out with our boar controller, our dire wolf character. She controls the wolves. We got our rook character that controls well, tries to control the crows, but they pretty much don't follow his lead very well. He's just not very well connected with the crows yet. I don't understand why. He's had the helmet for a long time. You may hate the animals that you're in charge of, but you should at least learn to connect with them and control them if you are going to be that character. But we get to see a world, an area on this planet that's kind of a river world, water world, uh, a main station for all the different uh, animal controlling characters, the helmet wearers. We get to meet a turtle, a controller of some giant turtles. Uh, that are weaponized and very interesting. They're like huge turtles that are in this water world, and it's like kind of have like people living on them and they also use them to during a battle to get the innocent civilians to help them escape. I mean, we get introduced to our a deer character, one that can control the elk, the antelope, well, more like the elk, uh, the reindeer type characters. It's more elkish. I'm sure there's one for reindeer, one for elk, one for antelope. I'm just not sure how deep it goes. We got a mountain goat character that controls the goats in here. We get a snake character. We're introduced to her from a past event that happened between this lady that got the uh, my brain just doesn't want to bring up any basic words today. The snakes, the python type snakes, not pythons, constrictors maybe. She's based off of. She controls. She does have a giant viper type snake that she controls, which it's kind of strange how some of the characters control animals that are normal sized animals. Then we get like there are I don't even want I can't really I want to show this page but I can't. Is it Ursa maybe the bear character? But anyways, some of the bears that he controls are like massive. They're huge. They're these giant bears. They're way oversized than a normal bear. And then you see the goat character, and the goats are all normal size. You see the crows are all normal size. You see our dire wolf character with the wolves are all normal size. I don't understand why the bear character has these supersized bears, and our snake character has this giant sized viper. How come the bad guys' animals are supersized and the good characters are all regular size except for our turtle guy? Our turtle guy apparently is an older gentleman, been around this for quite some time. He kind of they're in their little water world area. They have a way to keep an eye on all the different helmet wearers and kind of like pinpoint where they are and all that stuff. And they're trying to get all the good helmet wearers to join forces and then go after our Ursa type bear character who killed the boar controller, gave the boar helmet to another character that's on the evil side. Oh, here's a good shot of our bear character. This is giant bears behind him, giant grizzlies. Uh, but we're not finding out who he is yet. They kind of get into a fight that's trying to get an introduction in here, but we get more of an introduction of our constrictor type snake gal and the new pig controller. And at the same time, our Rook character is noticing that he's abusing the pigs, and the one main pig that was the main friend to the boar controller, uh, Rook wants to help him out, and we're finding out that the new boar controller also killed one of the other big pigs, and big boars, one of the two or three main ones. Turned him into bacon, I guess. Keeps threatening the other pigs that he's going to do the same to them and all that stuff. Anyway, he's a major dick. I just don't like the character. But, I mean, they're bad guys, so they gotta show that side to them. But yeah, I really enjoy that concept, that story, what's all going on. It's a very interesting storyline. Not big on watching the animals get tortured. Uh, but part of the human traits, we're a bunch of pieces of crap. Do stuff to the innocents. Uh, Definitely getting a lot more helmets that are starting to pop up. They do. I like in the back of them, they give you little layouts. I mean, or you get to find out more about the wildlife grid. That's what it's called. That's on this area. We're in this water world area, and this one didn't have it. I swore that one of them did, though. Uh, but they're good about giving you the information of anything new that's popping up. Oh, what the heck? I could have swore one of these had all the helmets laid out for you to check out, but apparently I can't find it now. It must have been in one of the other issues that I read, but I thought every issue there's a nice shot of the wolves and the crows working together, going into battle. Whereas the helmets have to control the characters when they want to do stuff. When they don't have their helmets on, the animals can just run amok, do whatever they want, live life normally, and the only time they're really controlled is on the characters. But yeah, nice introduction to a good variety of new helmet wearers. I mean, we probably got introduced to at least half a dozen in these two issues, new ones, plus old ones that are under new control. So, and some big events happening in these two issues. So, I would say if any of this world, this unnamed world, and this Ghost Machine world, any of it interests you, you could go with anyone. They're all their own standalone stories, but yet they work very well. Kind of working on a connection to each other in the future. There's going to obviously be something. I mean, Geiger's finally bringing in uh, Junkyard Joe and stuff like that into the world, which is awesome. I hope they keep going deeper with the Junkyard Joe crossover. But yeah, I think with the upcoming 3 issue connecting covers, I think within 2 issues, we're going to finally see these 3 worlds somehow connecting, some type of crossover going on. Hopefully. But yet they feel like they're so far apart. I just feel like they're in whole different time zones, whole different planets. Just doesn't feel like they're really supposed to connect, but somehow, according to our little teaser comic that had all those characters in it, they apparently will connect eventually, if not through themselves, through possibly some of the new ones that are coming out. I think we got 1 or 2 already introduced that I have pre-ordered, so in the next 2 months we're gonna see some new characters from that world. So looking forward to it. But yeah, I suggest getting into that world if you want something new and highly interesting, fun little play on some stuff that you haven't seen the concepts for before. I think these are very well done that way. It's not giving you the same old. It's giving you some fun new things along the way. Then we bought this. I believe it was from Kevin Wolf, Happy Wolf Art. Yeah, up this because of the Usagi Yojimbo cover. I don't remember seeing it, and I almost positive I did not order it. Don't have it, so I would have read it by now. Because I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure I read this storyline, so I should know what's going on, but I didn't. I was totally thrown for a loop by this. I was very happy. It was very enjoyable, and we get to see basically a mission that Han is working on. They have the Skywalker Strikes is what they call this book storyline. It is a period of renewed hope for the rebellion. The evil Galactic Empire's greatest weapon, the Death Star, has been destroyed by the young rebel pilot Luke Skywalker. With the Imperial forces in disarray, the rebels look to press their advantage by unleashing a daring offensive throughout the far reaches of space, hoping to defeat the Empire once and for all, and at last restore freedom to the galaxy. This happens. Oh, I want to say after Return of the Jedi is where we're sitting. But yeah, the Death Star's been wiped out. We got on a mission, getting found out by our stormtroopers, and basically not being trusted, but yet he's saying that he's working through Jabba the Hutt, of course, and yet they know that there's a bounty out on Han's head, and now we get to see that we also have Luke and Leia that are, and Chewie and the gang, all basically sneaking in, causing some basically a rebel attack again, and we get Darth Vader appearing, and of course the Jedi ability and stuff. Feel Luke's presence, and we get to see what our characters are up to, what their plans are, and basically see Vader finding out about him and hunting him down, and the beginning of what is the future storyline of what's going on with them after the events of the Death Star being destroyed. And Darth Vader knows that the characters that did it happen to be within his grasp, and stuff's gonna happen. And just episode toying with all that, giving you the basic rundown of where the storyline's at, and you get to see what's happening just before it goes on into the interesting battle segments and stuff like that coming up. I definitely want to read that storyline, but that'll be a bargain bin pickup or whatever. Or if I see other covers that catch me that I gotta grab, I'll pick those up and then I'll find out where the storyline's going. But at the moment, that's the only one I have for that run. And then we got Usagi Yojimbo the Crow, part 3 of 5 and part 4 of 5. This has been a lot of fun. We got, give you the gist of what's going on here. This is done by Stan Sakai, of course. We also got some color work done by Hi-Fi Color Design. We got the close of 16th century Japan is regarded as the age of civil wars, as feudal lords fought amongst themselves for land and power. It was during the Battle of Adakagara, Adakagahara, something like that, that the samurai Miyamoto Usagi lost his Lord Mifune to the armies of Lord Hikiji. With no clan, Usagi now walks the warrior pilgrimage, searching for harmony and increasing his skills. Usagi and his cousin Yukichi run into Jen and Stray Dog in a village they'd hoped to find rest in. There's a bounty on a dangerous bandit terrorizing the area, and Jen and Stray Dog ask for assistance when Usagi's cousin Yukichi is kidnapped. Yukichi will be released unharmed only if our heroes abandon their search and leave the area. Like, we got a bunch of bounty hunters that are after this crow type character. We get to see Usagi's cousin being tortured, being held prisoner. Why? Find out why they're doing it, what they're offering in exchange for release. They want him gone, want him to leave so they can just focus on the bounty at hand and get our crow character. Uh, we get to see different factions, what's going on with them, why they are where they are, why all the bounty hunters are after this crow character, what the crow characters assembling their own forces at the same time while they're trying to figure out ways to get rid of uh, Usagi and his cousin and Stray Dog, Jen, and we get a young kid that happens to be kind of like overseeing the army that has Usagi's cousin captured and being tortured, and that's Usagi and his cousin right there, and his torturer, who happens to have crossed paths with Usagi in the past and knows what he's capable of. But they get help with the little dude to find out where his cousin's being held, and they go there to try and save his cousin. And when they do, they find out that there's more to bargain for than what they expected, and you're seeing the amassed armies, finding out why they're doing what they're doing, because they basically want to keep the bounty all to themselves, and they're trying to get rid of any other big bounty hunters that they're going to have to compete with. But we're on issue 4 of 5, so we're going to be finishing up next issue, so I'm guessing it's just going to be one huge battle issue, so I'm looking forward to that. This part of the ongoing Usagi Yojimbo run, so it gets deeper into the history as it goes, and you don't really have to follow any of the other storylines. You could always jump on one anytime you want, I believe. I feel like they're all independently set up in their own atmosphere, own storyline world, that they have a nice beginning and ending. They give you enough introduction to get you introduced to everybody, find out what's going on, give you a little history about the past, and has a good completed ending to each storyline. Even though most of them do leave you hanging with a little bit of teaser of something that might happen in the future or something like that, or something that leaves you hanging that could be re-represented in the future and stuff. They do a really good job with it. But yeah, I kind of like this Crow character that we were introduced to in the first issue of this run. The last 3 issues have been focusing more on all the different uh, bounty hunters, trying to get rid of all the other ones that are competition and just trying to narrow it down so they can focus on going after the Crow character and getting the bounty, or working with other bounty hunters to go after the Crow and actually make sure they get the character. It's like worrying about splitting the money, but yet not worrying too much because a lot of them are going to probably die in the battle anyways, so you don't have to share their money. You'll get to split that up between who's still alive. So it's like they're gonna basically end up trying to beat the Crow and his army, and whoever's left will fight each other probably before they collect the bounty to see who gets it in the end, I'm sure. But yeah, well done. Another fun Usagi Yojimbo story. So looking forward to more of that coming soon. But that's it for today's little pile of comics. Hopefully, we'll have some more soon. I'm slacking a little on my reading, so I got to get caught up. But yeah, that was a lot of fun stuff. Usagi Yojimbo and the World, Ghost Machine World. Lots of fun characters, lots of fun stories, lots of great things going on. Usagi's 40th anniversary this year. We got the reintroduction to Space Usagi and all that. So check out those. Lots of fun. Keep following Under the Color of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, give us those likes. Check out Crimson Color Comic Club, and we'll get back with more of these soon. All right. Bye.